There was a saying, in the beginning of time, there was a podcast. Beer Bubble!
Everything is in English, in this middle management English. Kan vi köra?
Guys, welcome to Beer Bubbles, the bubbliest podcast in the world. CC here, as per usual. Rasmus is 5 floors up in the bar slinging beers, but I'm here with Magnus Svensson, the man, the myth, the legend, the guy who's been around since...
Well, we shouldn't exaggerate.
The guy who's been around since the Gay Horse 8.
A little bit previous to that, actually. Gay Horse came out in 2016, 17, I guess. And before that, we had a bunch of beer bars that we tried to run with a unknown brand that people don't seem to like anymore, but who knows.
Tell us about who you are and your brewery, Benchwarmers.
Yeah, so I run Benchwarmers Brewing Co down in Helsingborg with 2 buddies of mine, Stefan Obrod and Anders Nilsson. We brew about 100,000 liters a year. We start off like everyone else, like a home brewery. And we put our small batch sort of home brewed stuff out at Göteborgs Whisky-mässa in, I think it was 2016. I might get the year wrong. And we told ourselves that, okay, so the beer that gets the best response, let's contract brew that and try to release it to bars. And that was the birth of What Does a Gay Horse Eat, which is an oatmeal IPA, which is a terrible name that we tried to retire so many times, but people keep asking for it. And it's not even that good a beer, but it's just a fun beer name. So that shows what marketing and market exposure can do to a beer.
So your background, where do you come from?
Well, I'm a trained chef. So that's
okay.
Because I love food, I love flavors. But somehow I was a mobile phone nerd back in 1998 when I finished high school or gymnasiet. So I got an internship at Phone House down in Helsingborg. And then for some reason I skyrocketed my career there. And all of a sudden I was an aftermarket manager at Phone House for all 2,000 stores in Europe. So I've been working in middle management for customer electronics quite some time. Jumped over to Samsung, then to Apple, then back to Samsung a little bit, and then I realized I fucking love beer. Maybe I should start a beer bar. So I got long story short, I got a license for starting Brew Dog bars in Sweden back in 2012 maybe.
Because you were a bit cocky.
Yeah, a bit cocky. I mean, I went to the AGM, their annual general meeting, and I saw that James presented that they want to open bars in... I was a Brew Dog nerd back then. We had a lot of them in Sweden. Sweden was their biggest export market back in the days, which is just insane to think of. So I wrote James an email and say, I'm going to be a part of Brew Dog Stockholm. How to make that happen? And he actually quickly replied that we had a deal with the guy that fell through, so whip me up a contract and let's go. I was like, fuck, what the fuck? I thought what the fuck happened here? And I was like, I slammed my laptop down, working at Samsung, called Afram and George out of Sorbonne in Bois, which is one of the birthplace for my beer interest, and said, well, you can just stop whatever you're doing now because we're going to start Brew Dog Bar in Sweden. And they're like, what? They had a good cooperation with Sorbonne, and James liked Afram and George, and I had no fucking idea how to run a bar or a restaurant. They've been doing that for ages. So that's how it started, and we did that for 5 or 6 years. I actually got one of those memories on Facebook that pop up today. That 11 years ago today, we opened the first international Brewdog bar in Kungsholmen in Sweden. Today.
Yeah, that is cool.
That is fucking insane.
It's something to say cheers to.
Cheers. Yeah, this is amazing. This is fantastic. Yeah, all hail Snowsour.
Snowsour, the fantastic beer makers.
Yeah, good stuff. And they're fun as well. And their little farm and their little dog. Shittiest dog I've ever seen, but he's so cute. And he's just like beautiful. And you gotta love Gotland. So after Brewdog, or at Brewdog actually, me and Anders decided that we need a reason to hang out. I've been living in Stockholm for many years, and then moved down to Gothenburg to open the Brewdog bar there. Then I moved back, and he just recently started homebrewing, and I was like, we can do that together. And so for some reason, I like bureaucracy. Brewdog in Malmö had a pretty huge basement with a lot of small rooms. So I started the process of making sure that we can use one of these rooms to ferment beer legally with Skatteverket and everything like that. It took about 6 months, and then I had what I think is the smallest microbrewery in Sweden, because it was like 1 square meter, where we legally could ferment the beer, i.e. produce alcohol and then sell legally to the bar. And that's how it all started. And now we're producing almost 100,000 liters a year, 8, 9, 10 years later, which is pretty fucking cool. And now we're here at Akkurat. That's holy shit. The feather in the cap is just growing. Holy fuck. It's insane.
But Helsingborg is kind of it's kind of brewing. No, but it's weird that this small town in southern Sweden became like a hub of brewers. Or is it that strange? Is it Marcus' fault, or is it like everyone's fault?
Marcus really put Helsingborg on the beer map. We had Helsingborg.They before, but they were just like another brewery. No one really cared about them. But as any small town, we're very patriotic. So that's why Helsingborg.They beer sold out.
And we're talking about Marcus at Brewski.
Of course. Yeah, Marcus Hjalmarsson at Brewski. But when he started experimenting and up at Höganäs and then moved back to his own brewery, that just really blew everyone's mind. He was so far ahead with his mango stuff and his sours and everything. And then Brewski came, obviously, when he opened at Barski. So I mean, we're pretty close to Copenhagen. Copenhagen is full of beer nerds coming from America, and also Copenhagen has been such a good sort of cradle for craft beer in the south of Sweden. I'm living in Helsingborg. It takes me 1 hour to go down to Copenhagen, which is one of the best cities in the world, apart from Stockholm, obviously. So we went there quite a lot, and the Malmö peeps also went over there. So the maturity of craft beer is pretty high in that region. That's I have no data on this. I just like gut feeling. And then we had recreators around as well. Not as much showing, but they're around. And then after a few years running the brewery, we decided we need a bar, we need a tap room to sell our beers, obviously, because you can't really sell beers to bars anymore. That's just like, Spendrups, Elbow, Carlsberg, they own that. We don't really care. And I hate selling my beer. I absolutely hate it. It's terrible. So fast forwarding now to 2022, we opened our second tap room in Oceanhamn in Helsingborg. So we have Barski, which is, it's all right. No, it's amazing. I love Marcus and everything he's doing.
Great.
It's great. Mm-hmm. And we see that, people check in at our places at Instagram, and then later on you can see them at Barski or the other way around, which is fantastic. And so it's sort of a little beer town now. And what he's doing with Brewski is fantastic, because he draws like 7,000-8,000 beer nerds to Helsingborg that week, and that really puts us on the map, on the craft beer map.
Yeah, and it's between like 75 and 120 of the coolest breweries in the world that are beer. And
everyone wants to come too. Yeah. It's like a mini MBCC, and I know Marcus, he really wants to be like Mikkel, so he really he's but who doesn't? But that's enough about Brewski now. So it's fun. So that's that's sort of the story where who the fuck I am.
And you just expanded a bit.
We did. We won for us a pretty huge tender at Systembolaget. They wanted 40,000 cans of our Pilsner, which was sort of a challenge because we didn't really have the fermentation capacity. Pilsner should be in tank like 8 to 10 weeks, but we had like 4 or 5 weeks. So we had to tweak the recipes a little bit. We made it happen, even though half a pallet, I tipped over half a pallet. That was a fantastic feeling. Like 2,000 cans of Pilsner on the floor. It was more of a deadline sort of thing, because if we were to deliver 39,999 cans, we would be, they would fine us. If we delivered 40,000 cans, we're fine. So, but we made it happen. But by then we decided we need more fermentation capacity, because now we want to grow organically, and now we really hit our top. So it took maybe 6 months to find finance for that. We took a little bit of loans, a little bit of our own money, selling quite a lot of beers. And what was it, beginning March, I would say? Beginning April, actually. We finally got our new 3,000 liter tanks.
After a bit of a delay.
After a little bit of delay caused by a bunch of crap, because getting that ship from China to Hamburg and then up to Helsingborg in the middle of a war in the Middle East, it's that sort of defines how it is to run a brewery. You can try your hardest, but it's always something. What the fuck happened now? But now they're in there. They're installed. We got a brand new flooring, brand new sewers and everything. We're brewing like crazy, and summer is here. It fucking feels good. So we went from 12,000 liters of fermentation capacity, and now we're at 21,000. And everyone knows who brews beer. It takes like 6 hours to brew the beer, and then you have them in tank for 5 weeks. So that's sort of the bottleneck that we just like cut now. So that's, but it's fun that we actually have a lack of Pilsner for the summer already. Holy shit, people are drinking Pilsner. That's good. That's nice.
Well, you need beers for your tap room. Because you sell shitloads of beers.
We sell shitloads of beer there. And last year we sort of decided that we need to sell only our own beers. We need to, sort of the idea behind the tap room was also to invite other breweries. You know, it's a very social business, this. You know, everyone knows everyone. We sort of have the same problems. We do collabs, we do everything. We meet at festivals, we get drunk together and figure out solutions to crap problems. So what we usually do is, you know, support other breweries by buying the beers. But right now, things are what they are. So we mainly just do our own beers now. We didn't want to do that at first because it's very cocky. But we realized people come to Benchwarmers to drink Benchwarmers beers. So I was like, all right, we have better margin on that, so that's good. And we mix in a little bit of brewski, a little bit of Bräckeriet, and Svartberget.
Well, you do collabs as well, so it's...
We do collabs, and one thing with the taprooms is when we do a collab out at the brewery, you take the hop shot photo and everything, and then they always bring like 3 or 4 kegs of stuff, and we do like a little tap deck over at one of the bars. It's fantastic. It's amazing.
So what's the future then for you? Are you going to keep on trudging along as you do and like just grow organically, or are you planning ahead big time? Or
right now, I got this question last week from another brewery. He actually just quit his brewer. I don't know. I just like that question. Just like, oh fuck yeah, I need to think of the future. I need to have a strategy. I always have a strategy. Right now, it's surviving. So ask me that question again in like November when we see the sales over summer. We are focusing quite a lot at Systembolaget. It's stable sales. There's stable customers. You don't have to call them and ask, do you need any beer? We know the beer sells. We have a lot of active products, mainly in the local assortment. And it would be nice to win a new tender at Systembolaget because now we're equipped for it. So the difference between the local assortment is you sell what you sell. So if it doesn't move, you don't sell that beer anymore. If you win a tender, Systembolaget buys everything. There's no risk. Little lower price, but the competition is fierce. But trying to just evolve and make as good beers as we possibly can, and maybe at one point make a living out of it. It's
we talked about it yesterday. That black hole that all the money always go into.
It's like standing in the cold shower and ripping $1,000 notes. It's but it's fun. It's a social business, and it's not fitness. It's not. We're alcoholics, every one of us. But damn, it's fun. Damn, it's amazing.
Have you got any trips planned for the future?
No.
It's all it's this far.
No, I can't really do that. We might go to Iceland, but right now for summer is our peak season. We work intense over the summer. November, December, a little bit slower. Might go to Florida to meet some friends, but right now it's just like the bank accounts are empty. But we're filling them right now. So I mean, we're gonna see some nice trips in the future, I guess.
That's perfect. Magnus, we're going to have a tasting here tonight with the Beer Club at Akkurat. We did last night as well because there's so many members now, so we can't fit them in one night, which is a nice problem as well.
Fantastic. And what you built with that beer club, I didn't really know what it was first, but that was amazing. How they're very smart. They're very good at beer. They know a bunch of shit, and they have good references, good questions, and everything. And they come to all the tastings.
And they're nerds, not snobs.
Yeah, I gotta quote that. They're nerds, not snobs. Fuck, I hate beer snobs.
Well, beer nerds are people who nerds overall is people who love something and want to share it.
Yeah.
A snob is someone who wants to tell you that they know better than you.
Yeah, I mean, no one likes a know-it-all. It's like, actually, it's not a killer. It's just drink the fucking beer. That's
what does it say on the label? That's what it is.
That's what it is. So the fact you have like 9 different styles of Pilsner in Germany, no one knows the difference. But yeah, those are the know-it-alls.
I've got one more question for you, and this is the hardest question for anyone who likes beer.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Some people do the desert island question. You can have one more beer for the rest of your life.
Oh, I mean, that's easy.
I'm past that.
Okay, cool. Oh, wow.
So today you're going to die.
Nice.
The Grim Reaper is coming to collect.
Finally, picking down the sign.
But he's given you a choice of having one more beer before you go. Any brewery, in production, out of production, any but one.
It's an unfair question sitting down here. I when people ask me what my favorite beer is, I always reply Tuborg in a glass bottle in a smoky bodega in Copenhagen. It doesn't get better than that, and it's not just like, oh, it's being so quirky. It's actually good beer. They have little hop notes, and it's always nice. It's fucking amazing.
But we probably don't want to drink one.
No, God, no, that's you. No, fuck you. You buy a whole case of it. My idea is somewhere around, I would say Anna from Helsingborg.They, their saison, or maybe Heady Topper, or Pliny the Elder. So those are fucking boring beers. I mean, everyone would pick those.
I've heard Saison de Pont.
Yeah,
I've heard anything from Brasserie de la Seine.
Yeah, that's true.
I've had...
But the thing is, we can get DuPont here in Systembolaget. We're sort of spoiled.
We have it on tap here.
Yeah, you see, it's like we can do that.
Here, have a DuPont.
I would say Anna from Helsingborg.They.
Okay.
Yeah.
Magnus, thank you very much. We're going to set up now. It's almost set up already.
Oh, you're done.
But we're going to get our minds in focus.
We got to get into the mood. Yeah. Take on the clown cap, do the show, and then just go for it.
Thank you, Magnus.
Thank you so much.
Absolute pleasure.
Thank you. Cheers.
Thank you. Cheers.
There was a say, in the beginning of time, there was a podcast.